You will sleep better than you have ever slept. You've never been this relaxed. Are you ready to change your life? I'm Rusty Diamond, certified hypnotist. You don't need to leave your house. You can stay in your bed. You can stay in your favorite chair. You just need a computer or your phone. You can get a hold of me. Stay at home. I'll make your life better.
Hypnosisisgreat.com.
It's Rusty Diamond, motherfucker. It's Rusty Diamond, motherfucker.
Yo, man. Bo, Miss Rusty and shithead. Welcome to the Public Access Podcast, the podcast, now the Pennsylvania Public Access Podcast, the podcast. La 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 bomba. What is up, everyone, here on the Rusty Diamond Podcast Network? It is, I don't know, Wednesday, probably, something like that. Who knows? Who gives a fuck? It's podcast day. So, welcome, everyone, and thank you for being here. And you know what? It's time to bring on my special guest because I want to get right into it because, gosh darn it, I can. So, my special guest is right here, right now. And my special guest right here, right now is Rat King. What is up? How you doing?
Hey, Rusty and viewers, I would assume between the ages of 18 and 49 in the male demographic.
Probably that is what it seems to be like, somewhere in there. There's a few uh crossover in there, but pretty much that's what it is. Even I
Not a
mean, yeah,
single woman, not a single one.
no, not a single one. They get in and then they start running for the hills. So
Yeah, I mean, if we talked about some obscure murder in like Oklahoma, we'd probably start drawing them in. But as long as it's wrestling, then no chance.
right, man. I talked about some obscure. I guess it wasn't obscure. Some obscure murder in Iowa. I think is what it was. Some guy that was from Iowa, and he went up to like Alaska, and he'd do these expeditions with a helicopter, and he'd just start killing people. And I like talking about Iowa, man. So it happens, dude.
And someone
Iowa's a
has to.
Yeah, dude. Man, Iowa is cool as fuck, dude. If you like nothing, Iowa, man. But it's not like Nebraska. Nebraska. So there'd be commercials when I lived in Minnesota for Nebraska, like from the tourism board or whatever, and it would say like they'd have this commercial, and it would be people going down the river in these fucking like horse trough things. Like they're like these they're not quite like a trough, but it's like a big water thing that looks like an octagon almost. I don't know exactly what it is, but people be floating down the river for this. And then at the end of the commercial, it says Nebraska. It's not for honestly, it's not for everybody. And
Yeah, I feel like Nebraska really should be Nebraska. If you're not bored in Alabama and want to be even more racist, you should hit us up.
yeah, hit up Nebraska, man, dude. Man, Nebraska was I don't know, man. I drove through there. That's as far as I got. I drove through and like I think I stopped in Omaha and what was somewhere else? What was the other one? Maybe maybe Lincoln. I think I stayed 2 nights on that
Those are the
drive
two places in
over.
Nebraska that I know the names of. So
Right, yeah, that's all I know of. So it's like, yeah, let's stay there, man. That'll be good. Um, yeah, man. It's I don't know, man. The fucking country's a weird place. I fucking ran into you up in northern Idaho at a
yeah, like what,
fucking
state line?
State Line, Idaho, man.
That was
Yeah.
the weirdest shit because man, I hadn't seen you in a grip.
Yeah, I think it had probably been at least a few years.
And pre-COVID.
Yeah, pre-COVID. Yeah, like 20, maybe 2019 or something like that.
Yeah.
And then yeah,
If it was at DOA, it had to be 2018, the last time we saw
28.
each other.
Okay, that was when you transferred. You got
Yeah.
uh yeah, transfer I don't know what the term is,
I
but
got thrown out like a sack of shit from 4 minutes of heat and made up my own gimmick.
and yeah, well, and now, it works out all right, man. Everything I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah, long,
I
arduous
think you
journey to get to a place where I feel like I kind of not only recovered uh my shit, but made it better.
yeah. I mean, what do you think what do you think the longevity could have been on that
Not
as you
much.
yeah,
Because they were always kind of like moving towards being like a tag team, and I had the chance of being a maybe sometimes three-man tag team partner and usually a manager. But even then, they
yeah.
wouldn't sell me to promotions as a manager. So
Oh shit,
the writing
okay.
was on the wall for a while there.
Yeah. And so you just were like, well,
Yeah, I
sayonara.
remember the exact moment where I decided I was fucking done with it. It was they who should not be named 321 Battle was doing their Battle Rumble, like their Royal Rumble ripoff show. I want to say it was like early, yeah, it was like around the same time as the real Royal Rumble. So it was like probably January of 2018. Ricky was going up to the show to be in it, and I'd stayed home from training because I wasn't feeling great. But I wanted to watch it because I was like, cool, this is a big thing for Ricky. That'll be fun to watch. So, anyone watching this knows how Royal Rumble is. It's random participants. And I hear the 4 minutes of heat music. I'm like, oh, here comes Ricky. Oh, wait, that's Eddie. Ah, I was not made aware of this.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm just like making dinner in my kitchen, and then my tag team is unbeknownst to me wrestling up in Seattle.
You got a fax coming in saying,
Yeah,
hey man,
yeah, I got broken up with live on Twitch essentially,
holy shit.
and
Well,
I dealt with
yeah.
that for like 2 or 3 more months, and then I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm shaving my eyebrows off and changing my name.
Okay, how'd that go, man? With why don't I remember you shaving your eyebrows off? Why don't
Because I got canceled on Twitter like a week later.
Okay. And so you're like, well, I'm canceled on Twitter. I'm gonna shave off my fucking eyebrows.
No, it was well, it wasn't cause and effect. It was just a really bad confluence of situations.
Okay. Um, I mean, dude, 3-2-1 battle was I could go on about I could have a whole fucking show about
Yeah,
3-2-1
that'd be a
battle.
great Dark Side of the Ring one day when they run out of material that anybody gives a shit about.
Right. Oh my god, dude. That place, like, yeah. Every fucking thing that like that made me, I don't know, more and more of that shit started happening, and I just was like,
Yeah,
nope. Like, and then more and more of it started coming through and
yeah. Deep
infiltrating everywhere. And
deep in the weeds is something I never really said. That this is never gonna really get out to anybody who hears it. But it turns out that the shit that happened with me was like man, what is the word? A false flag kind of thing to draw heat away from 321, like
ah,
directly orchestrated by some people in 321 even. And I was like, what the fuck? I only heard this like 2 or 3 months ago from a source that is very close to the situation but also incredibly unreliable. So
yeah.
who really
Well,
knows? I
yeah.
also just
You,
don't fucking care anymore. It was like 5 years ago.
yeah. And yeah, I mean, yeah, it's I mean, it's easy for me to say, like, you know, here, man. It's just like I don't fucking know, but Yeah,
But
I never had any desire to go fucking work up there. That was never anything where I'm like, oh yeah, like I want to
yeah, I
go.
like dumb gimmicky comedy shit, but like
I do too,
I
man.
like wrestling trained wrestlers too. And it was like
Yeah,
a quarter of the roster.
dude, it was a bunch of fucking backyarders
Yeah.
that fucking people were there to like were like praising the shit out of them.
Yeah, it's
Pra-
like if Ron Von Hess's promotion caught fire, but like instead of locking all the doors and just letting everyone burn to death in there, they like opened the doors and made more fans come in.
Dude, oh man, dude, like
Yeah, I'm dropping all the names now.
yeah, dude, man, fucking, man, like, and so you've been around like 10, 11 years, something like that.
uh, this is my ninth year.
Nine, so it's like what, 2015 you came in?
Yeah, I started training in 2015.
Okay. Yeah. Because yeah, I think yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
2015, that's probably about right.
yeah, because we were
Um,
working those student shows down in Salem.
oh
That's
my
where I met you
God.
the first time.
God, yeah. Those shows, man. Yep, I remember those shows. I
Weirdly,
wasn't
I
even
kind
supposed to
of.
wrestle.
Oh yeah, you had like that weird like dragon singlet, and you came in as a manager when you did, didn't you?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I was supposed to just be a manager, and then he's like, "Well, you're gonna wrestle tonight." I'm like, "Well, I'm not really trained to wrestle, but like, okay, we're wrestling." I don't know, man. Maybe I look good that day or something.
Isn't it wild that we worked those shows with Darby Allen?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's something really weird. I look back on like, man, he's like a mega star now. I see action figures of that guy, and I was just like having really shitty student matches with him in a fucking warehouse in Salem.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, there was 'cause yeah, those were what, like monthly or
Yeah,
something
every
like
month.
that. Okay. Ah, jeez. Yeah. I think that lasted. I don't even know how long I was doing those before. I was just like, yeah, I because there was some shit, and I was just like, nope, I'm not fucking hanging around here anymore, dude. I'm
Yeah,
fucking
that's WC in a nutshell for anybody who had any fucking common sense.
right.
I did not.
Uh,
I stuck around WC until like mid 2017.
it did, so we're. I mean, I had people like it was weird because a lot of people were saying like, stay the fuck away from there, and then there's like the student shows going on. It's like, well, hey, you can go work these student shows, and I'm like, well, wait, haven't you been saying for like the last 5 years to like no, don't.
Classic.
Yeah, and then go there, and then but then and then it was like the whole. Then I hear people, oh, he's changed, the stuff's changed, the person's changed,
No,
and
absolutely not.
no,
To this day, he has not changed.
no, man, it was. I don't know, man. It's a fucking weird fucking business, man.
Yeah, and that was my introduction to the business. Like
I for
I
real.
it was the only place to train in Salem. So like I only worked for Manning for like a year and a half before I went to the next person I worked with was fucking Dan. How am I still here?
Dude, I don't know, man. And it was kind of the same thing there too, dude. And then it was, dude, you don't want to because and then it's like, hey, well, there but then yeah.
But at least working for Dan, I met like Wade and Doc and
Yeah,
Quiz and fucking guys like that where I was like, oh my god, not everybody's a fucking asshole. Not to say like not many of the people who worked for WC were assholes. It was like the auxiliary staff that Jeff had. There were just a bunch of weirdo, never did anything in the business guys who like treated a wrestling business like an office job.
yeah. I don't there's so much I don't understand. Um I would think that I would have some understanding of some shit, but
Even so
I
far removed from it and so much older than we were then, it still makes no fucking sense whatsoever.
yeah. And I mean, I couldn't imagine like seeing that today and like what the fuck would I do? I mean, I don't know if I ever walked out on a booking before.
Yeah, I don't.
Um,
Me either, even though I felt like I should a few times.
Yeah, there's definitely been a few times. I've had times where I haven't gotten paid. Uh,
I worked for
I
Ron too.
dude, oh Jesus, I did one show up uh in Bremerton up there at the
Well,
Mexican.
Poblanitas.
Yeah, dude. Oh my God, dude. What the fuck? What the fuck was
That
that,
is
man?
top three weirdest fucking places I've ever wrestled in my entire life.
Oh, okay. So I had this question with I think with Doc and Quiz. What are your other places where your weirdest places you
Oh
fucking
man.
worked?
Uh, I think La Poblanitas was weird in a bad way, where I wrestled at this punk show in a backyard, surrounded like mosh pit style, for like the first ever Anarcho Pro show, and that
That's pretty
was
cool though.
it. And I wrestled Doc in a backyard. So like it was the weirdest fucking thing ever, but it was fucking awesome. Like I knocked Troy off the ring and he got crowd surfed like fucking 6 feet back and then back into the ring.
Holy shit.
Uh yeah, and I think
Okay.
the other weirdest place is probably like probably not weird like in the sense of wrestling, but I wrestled at a like this Mexican fiesta thing in Woodburn.
The Woodward
And
Mexican Fiesta.
we had a crowd you wouldn't fucking believe because we wrestled at like 5 p.m. right after the football game was over. So like that whole crowd just filed in and there was like a sea of people.
Holy shit.
And they had no idea what the fuck they were watching, but they were there.
I mean, dude, yeah, it's you set up a ring fucking anywhere, man. I don't know how. I don't know how, and sometimes it's like no one's watching.
Yeah.
Um, I've definitely been a part of those shows
Well,
where
yeah,
it's
you were at
like,
that state line show. Oh, we drew like
dude,
7 people.
yeah, there was probably seven, and I don't know how many of them were comped tickets
Yeah.
either.
Did you ever hear the story about after that show?
No, because I didn't get paid.
Oh, fuck. so
There's that.
so
Yeah.
we wrestled for Greg like a month before, maybe 2 months, because CPW was going to do their Strawberry Festival gimmick and they got rained out. But I was already up in Vancouver with Petrov and Draven, and like we were planning on going out the door at like 7 a.m. that day when we got the word that the show was canceled.
Oh shit.
So we're all packed up. We got our wrestling shit. We want to work. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then I'm looking at my phone and I'm like, hey, Petrov, Greg's running today in State Line. You want to give him a call? So we ended up the same day just loading up in the car, driving all the way to State Line, wrestling for Greg, turning back around and fucking coming back home the same night.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so we're like, hey, we love working for you, dude, but next time we come up, get us a fucking room. And he's like, cool, I can do that.
Yeah. I wonder if they'll
So
be. Yeah.
yeah, so Petrov had just gotten married, and we're gonna use that weekend as like his bachelor party.
Okay.
So that's the show. We went up, we saw you. I wrestled Ernie. Petrov wrestled Insanity Demon. No, did he? I can't remember. Oh no, Petrov wrestled Tubbs. He wrestled Tubbs.
Oh yeah, because yeah, they needed another guy to work.
Yeah, and then it was Draven versus Insanity Demon and some old guy whose name I can't remember.
The guy with like he had like a shamrock or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. He's
Okay.
been around forever and I've never learned his name. But anyway,
Me
that's not the
neither.
interesting part of the story. So we get there and I'm talking to Greg and I'm like, hey man, we've been in the car for like 12 hours. I kind of want to shower. Could we get into the room? He's like, oh yeah, I'll get the info. Never hear
Oh,
back. We're tearing down. And I'm like, hey man, what's up with that room? He's like, oh yeah, Lucky's or whatever the fuck his name is taking care of it. I'm like, okay, this is getting sus. So we helped tear down the entire motherfucker, which was not part of the deal. Like, I'll do ring crew, I don't care, but I've been in the car, I wrestled, like I
yeah.
want to go get drunk and go to sleep. So then finally everything's done. Greg comes up to us, is like, so I'm just gonna tell you guys now in case you want to punch me. And I'm like, oh no, oh
Yeah.
no. Like, I can only pay 3 of you. So he tries to pay me, Petrov, and Draven. And then Petrov's like, no, you pay Tubbs and you'll pay me later. Which he ended up doing.
Yeah.
And then this whole time I was just like, okay, but the room, Greg, what about the fucking room? He's like, oh yeah, it's under this name. So I'm like, okay, we load up, get in the car. I'm wearing a yukata at this point, by the way.
You're okay.
Like a formal kimono kind of thing, because it was hot as fuck out there, and I brought it with me to fucking relax in. So at this point, I'm just like G'd up in my fucking kimono in State Line, Idaho.
Right. Probably blended in.
Yeah, no, I definitely, it worked out great for me. So we
Yeah.
get to the hotel. The person in front of us trying to check in is being told there's no open rooms. And I've just got this horrible feeling in the pit of my stomach. And we get up to the counter. We give the person the room. I'm fully expecting there's no room. And they're like, oh yeah, we got the name here. The card was declined.
Ooh, what was the name under? Was it under like a fake name, or was it
No,
under
it was the name of the bar owner, which is like Lucky, I think. I
Okay.
want to say Lucky, but it just makes me think of Tom Petty's character in King of the Hill.
And King of the Hill? Okay.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
It was not that kind of guy for sure, but it's like I feel like that's it has to be. I don't know. Anyway, so I immediately turn my back. I'm calling Greg, and Tubbs, being the best shoot manager in the world, just puts his card down to reserve the room. And I'm like, "Hey, Greg, card declined." And then like 20 seconds later, I just hear screaming in the background. And then silence, and then, hey, come on by and we'll give you the cash.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh, this is great. So I'm like, hey, Greg's gonna get us our cash. So let's do the 7-minute drive back to the fucking venue. So we all load up in the car. We get there, Greg's gone. Greg has ghosted. So now I'm in a Japanese dress with a very frustrated Petrov, a very tired Draven, and Tubbs, who has already fucking done his thing for the day.
Yeah.
And I have to walk into a biker bar after hours in a fucking dress
In
and
State
ask
Line,
for money
Idaho.
from the owner.
Yeah.
My
Did
mentality
you?
towards it though was like, I'm probably the least useful in a fight here. So like, if I walk up and I get knocked the fuck out, I've at least got 3 dudes behind me that may be able to hold it together for a minute.
Yeah. Did you
So
end up getting paid?
yep, sure did.
Fuck, dude. Yeah.
I ended up holding up a biker bar in a fucking dress for money. I think the dude was so flabbergasted that I had the balls that he decided not to kill us.
Yeah. That's good, man.
It's one of the craziest fucking stories that almost made that whole fucking thing worth it. Not quite, but almost.
And then you fucking drove back, and was that then BCW was that next day?
Yeah, I saw you
Is that
again
what that
there.
was? Yeah, I was following you, man.
Yeah, I mean, at least you got paid for that one, I hope.
I got paid at the BCW show.
Okay, good.
I got, yeah, dude. It was in the fucking hot dog wrapper.
Oh yeah, that's right when
And
Max started doing that. That's still the
yeah,
funniest fucking thing.
I still have those. I still have the money in there. They're just fucking sitting in there somewhere around here. I probably
Man,
should find out where they are, but I keep
Mac
seeing them.
rules.
I'm like, oh hey man, there's fucking little hot dog things. But
Yeah,
yeah, dude, yeah,
what a
I like,
180 Mac has done in his career.
yeah, yeah, and I'm happy he did.
Yeah, me
He,
too.
yeah, because yeah, I mean, I remember like he started. I left for like I don't know, 2 months, and then I came back, and then there was like 4 or 5 people training, and he was one of them. And yeah, I was. So I remember because we were working at the Moose Lodge, and he came up to me and started talking to me, and then uh, he introduced me to Crystal, and I thought that Crystal was his girlfriend at first, and I was like, oh, okay. I think that's kind of what, I don't know if he was implying that, or that's just what I got. But yeah, dude, yeah, he was always, I don't know, he was always cool with me, man. I never fucking had any
Yeah,
issues with
him and
him.
I personally got along really well, but I'm sure you've had it where you just get in the ring with somebody and nothing fucking works. And it's
Yeah,
bad for both of us.
yeah,
Like as much as I dreaded wrestling him, I liked him a lot as a dude. And then when he stepped away from wrestling and became a promoter, he became one of my favorite promoters. So
yeah. Dude, it was nice, man. It was. I don't think I ever wrestled him. I don't think I ever wrestled Mac ever. So maybe that's why. But yeah, dude, like him as the promoter was fucking great, man. I was
yeah.
like, all right, I'll come up there for that, man.
Yeah,
It's like, yeah,
especially back when we had Wade booking too. It was
yeah,
like Nawa without the bullshit,
right,
which Nawa had the potential to be like a really fun show, but fucking damn closer.
yeah, yeah, with fucking yeah, with Hess fucking booking and
It was weirdly nostalgic.
yeah, 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 dude. So that was fun. That was fun working those shows with fucking with Hess. That was like kind of when, yeah, I was like, okay, I I think he's starting to fucking finally come around with me.
Yeah.
I think
Dude,
it took
Hess
a
is such
bit.
a nice guy.
He is, man. He is. I think the first time, like, because at first I think like I don't know, I felt like the his crew, like the old Illuminati,
Yeah.
uh, were like did not like did not vibe with me as the kids say.
Yeah.
But I don't think we ever had any beef. It was just like, oh, this fucking guy.
Yeah.
Uh,
So I met Hess like right after that. It was like the only person left in the Illuminati that he was hanging around with was Maddie, and Maddie
yeah,
liked me.
yeah,
So
man, that's a good. Yeah, Maddie's fucking cool, man.
yeah, man, I miss Maddie. I was
Yeah,
trying to get him to come in for BCW back when Hess was working it, but it never lined up.
yeah. I just reached out to him like a few days ago. I got and talked to him like I should fucking hit up Maddie and
Yeah, what a
see
cool
how the
guy.
fuck he's doing, man. Yeah, dude. And yeah, I think the first time that like they started liking me was uh I was riding with Quiz and CJ, and Hess was having some sort of gathering at his uh he's got like a bar or
He's
yeah,
got
I
like
don't
a
know.
compound out there. Yeah,
Yeah, and like come down here to this, and I'm like, okay, sure. And I went there, man, and I don't know, man. I was maybe yeah, it was having Fizz and CJ with me, but
yeah, that'll do
yeah,
it.
it was like okay, yeah, this is cool. I like these guys.
Yeah, I got invited out to the Hess compound once, and Hess wanted to drink with me and Andrew Watson. And
Okay,
this wasn't me. This was like Billy Pearl.
okay,
And I was
Billy
like, I'm gonna
Pearl.
take the old El Paso on that one, Chief. I think I'm far too fucking pussy and liberal to hang out with you, especially in
Yeah,
like such a small gathering. I feel like I'm gonna end up pig food. So I'm just not gonna do that. Now I definitely would, but he's more laid back and not really doing that kind of thing anymore.
yeah. Which that's such is life, man.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't even really drink that much anymore, but I do remember that he heard that I had Jaeger in my bag before our title match, and he was like, "Come with me."
Yeah. Ha- Uh, when did you have a title match with him? Was that like
Oh
right
man, it
after
was
that? Right
very
after?
shortly afterwards. I think I was already in my thing. Yeah, yeah, because when you came down, I was supposed to not be on that show because he'd fucked my leg up the week before. But I
Oh,
was like,
okay.
I'm here. So I had a cane with me and I was like walking out like, yeah, I was selling that knee injury when I took the belt off of him. So it was probably 2 or 3 weeks later.
Okay. And yeah, dude, yeah, Hess is fucking. I really enjoyed like working with him, man.
Dude,
That
my
was
favorite program I've ever done. Like
yeah,
so many good matches, and he improved my confidence as a wrestler so fucking much. Like
yeah,
getting to wrestle with him and Doc both, like already like a fucking little nerdy dream come true for me. Because like I looked up to him and Doc and Drexl a lot, and I got to wrestle all three of those dudes, which
uh, yeah,
I never could have seen that coming for me.
yeah. And yeah, I mean, all three of them will do kind of whatever they can to fucking put you over,
Yeah.
best they fucking can, which is always cool.
Yeah, also just being in the
Shit, yeah.
position where all these guys are trying to put me over as opposed to just run me over because I'm a nobody. Like
Right.
that also was really weird for me.
After yeah, you don't look as good in underwear as someone else, man.
Yeah.
You're
I was always the weird guy who was like the worst person in the tag team who was wrestling either of these guys. And then all of a sudden I'm just like I've got a gimmick now and I learned what not to do and what I can do halfway decently to fool people into thinking I can wrestle good.
which is what you need to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a fucking great thing to learn, man.
Yeah, fail upward. Fail upward
Yeah.
100 times and realize all you really need is a pretty kick and a decent work punch, and you can go far.
Yep, exactly, dude. Yeah, don't fucking. Yeah, there's plenty of other people who will do all the other shit,
Yeah,
and they can do it. Let them
yeah,
fucking do it all day. Yeah, as long as you have that fucking nice kick and a fucking good punch, like
yeah. That's
kick and
one
punch,
thing.
man.
One thing I definitely picked up from wrestling a 4 minutes of heat is that both those guys are fucking charisma vacuums and always need somebody to either talk or play characters for them because they could wrestle like motherfuckers, but god damn, you've seen their promos. So I'm like, I can make as much money with that promo as they can with their wrestling, and I won't break my neck doing it. So
Uh-huh. That's a that's yeah, man. It's a fucking great thing to learn, and you just
yeah.
like if you can do a match, uh, like I mean, I remember I saw Quiz and Draven do a match in Astoria, and they told me before, like I think we were all, walking around, driving around or some shit, and decided what they're gonna do. They're like, we're gonna fucking not bump this whole match, and I think they worked each other's thumb the whole the whole fucking match, and it got over more than anything else in the show.
Yep.
And I mean, that's something that's a good thing to learn.
Yeah,
That
especially if you're working for fucking CC up there, man. You might as well not bump.
yeah, it's not nobody's gonna care if you can do a bunch of bumps or some
Yeah.
crazy bump.
Especially like, my goal is to capture mostly the casual fan.
Yeah,
Because those are the people who are gonna be like, oh, I'll come to wrestling once a month and buy a t-shirt and not be a fucking asshole and get on the internet and post about how I didn't do the fucking 7 high spots they wanted to see on TV.
right,
Like try to explain to like some 50-year-old dad or some 10-year-old kid why I suck because I can't do a fucking Canadian destroyer or a 450. It's
right.
like, okay.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. What else do you remember from that match? Well, you remember them doing that move, and what else do you remember? Do you remember who won the match? Do you remember anything else? Nope,
No,
nope.
I mean, fucking all the power to those dudes who do that
Yep.
and who
Because we
can
don't
do
have
that.
to.
But I just, ugh, I
Yeah,
it couldn't be me.
yeah, yeah. Me neither, man. Like, yeah, let them do it, and it gives them whatever, and then come on.
Yeah, they can take that mid card spot, and I'll be there in the main event because I work a character, and they can workhorse their asses off. And like I got a lot of friends who are like not even like flippy like crazy high spot workhorses, but they work 25-minute matches, and I watch them like you should be where I'm at. Because I
Yeah,
go out there and I fucking kick punch suplex for fucking 8 minutes and I get paid as much as them, but I'm in the main event and I got belts and shit.
right.
So
That
being like the Gen I guess I'm a millennial, just barely. Being a
You're
millennial douchebag wrestling fan, I'm like, I don't deserve this.
dude. I mean, what it's wrestling, man. It's
Yeah,
fucking wrestling. You figure it out. Then you figure out you don't know anything. Then you figure out a few more things, and you're like, oh, okay, well.
yeah.
And then you're like, I don't know shit.
I've learned that it's just best not to ever think about it. Just approach everything with the whimsical fucking attitude of a child, and you'll probably be okay.
Well, because that's what people want. That's what people want to see when they're watching a wrestling match. They want to feel like it's some fucking whimsical shit, and they're a child and just being lost in the moment.
Yeah,
And
I've also kept myself incredibly humble by being completely convinced that I'm not shit. Like from all my career experience, I'm like, I'm still like, fucking skinny ass Billy Pearl in my head. And then like they're asking me to come train up in Washington, and I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna teach you? I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
it
But
just, yeah, yeah,
I feel like
just
that's
say that.
probably how all trainers start out though. Or like, man, I don't know why the fuck they're asking me to do this, but
But they're
I'll do
asking you.
it. Yeah. I'm not gonna
They're,
say no. So
yeah,
here we go.
yeah. I mean, dude, it's fucking. I don't know. Like even with yeah, I mean, like DOA. A lot of the people weren't around that long when they started training. It wasn't. I mean, I don't think any of them were at. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I don't think any of them were at 9 years.
Yeah, probably not.
I mean, because yeah, it was. I don't know.
Yeah, I think Eric Wright probably started as a trainer probably when he was like 7 years in. Because he wasn't around like much longer than me. He didn't train at DOA. He was a trainer at WC. So he was a
Yeah,
trainee at DOA.
yeah. He started training. Fuck, I don't know. Because yeah, he was at whatever WCWC. But yeah, like the first time he got in the ring at DOA was the first time I got in the ring with DOA. And that was a fucking weird thing. Dude, oh man. So they had this thing, it was oh my god. It ended up being like a fucking 20-minute segment. Like it was like the Illuminati tryout. And yeah, it went on for like 20 minutes at
Oh
least.
god, dude.
Maybe longer. And yeah, it was one of those things that like doesn't get talked about. Like
Yeah, I
it's
bet.
like
Because who the fuck was the talker in that scenario?
yeah, yeah, yeah. It was fucking I don't know, man. It was weird. It was just like okay, because it was me and and Eric and then two of my buddies that I was training with. And like first we all had to like go around and take a drink to, get in. And Eric's like, I'm not gonna drink. Then they shit canned him. And then had everyone take a super kick from quiz. And I think we all took it. And then it was like, which was stupid because then we're like killing Quiz's fucking super kick. These
Yeah,
fucking kids coming out.
that's his
And
finish.
right. And then the next one was take a thunder line.
Oh, dude,
Um,
if anybody gets up, that's it.
yeah. Right. And then so uh oh, so I think that one of the guys I was with got kicked like when Quiz gave the super kick, he was out. And then
Yeah.
I got the thunder line and I was out, but
Sorry.
my buddy, dude, it was fucking great. It
Really?
fucking yep. He fucking because my buddy was like in with him. So like
Oh, okay.
the thunder was it took him a while to fucking it was kind of like same thing with Hess. Like took him a little while, but eventually, but since yeah, like he's like, okay, well you're friends with Gareth, I'll treat you well on that. So and plus I'm yeah, I was like 6'1", 6'2" probably at the time, dude. So like,
Yeah, so
I
you
mean,
actually
if
probably
you're,
took it in the right place.
yeah, like if you're Eric Wright, you fucking
Yeah,
like
you're dead.
it's a lot different. Like, man, like watching some of those ones like were, yeah, I mean, I was happy I was tall as I was, and then yeah, then like, and my buddy gets up from the thunder line, and then like at the end, so then this is probably like 20 minutes in, and then they bring out fucking what's that? I can't remember her name. Fuck.
Around that time, maybe Kate Carney.
No, this was like 2010.
Oh shit.
Um,
Liza.
oh man, shit. It was fuck. Oh man, I can't think of what her name is, but she was a woman with big boobs, and I don't
Toxic.
remember. No, fuck. I'll think about it. I'll figure it out.
Okay.
But it brought her out, and then brought Pugsley out to like be like, hey, what's up? You know, work his charm, and then they took Pugsley, and then it got to like, it was like 25 minutes long,
Jesus
and that was
Christ.
the end of the thing. Yeah, it was a show with Christopher Daniels, and Quiz was the main, and Christopher Daniels just like, I guess the whole time in the back, just like, what the fuck? What the fuck is going on? Like, why is this shit still going? Like, why? And then so it only gets talked about right now. So yeah, that was a hell of a fucking start. But yeah, that was the first time Eric Wright came through. But yeah, I mean, dude, he's a fucking great one
Yeah,
to learn
I mean,
from, dude. He's
I've always said that Eric Wright is like probably the best worker in the PNW who never really got like a huge main event run with any promotion,
yeah,
and he fucking
dude.
should have.
I liked what he was doing when when we were at Harvey's. I
Yeah.
like
Oh man, his
his,
comedy gimmick, like his
yeah,
comedian thing.
dude. It was
Uh,
fucking great. I was like,
Everything he did was fucking gold, man. The Gentleman
yeah.
Brawler when he got burned and was
Oh,
like that
dude,
creepy guy.
yeah, and
Cool
yeah,
Heels, that was like Cool Heels was like 50% Eric Wright.
yeah, and then even before that, he did like the Ravishing Rick Rude thing.
Yeah.
Before that, and
And then
dude,
like
yeah,
he did his last big angle with me, which was a fucking honor.
Kurt,
Because like when we were Cool Heels, we actually realized we were very similar people. Like a couple of bitter, like I should be a Gen Xer, like generationally, like the age of my dad.
yeah,
And we're into all the same music, even though he's like 6 or 7 years older than me. So like
yeah.
we got along great. And then I got him back into BCW in like the twilight of his career. I say twilight, he's like still not even 40, and he probably still has abs, that motherfucker. But he's the smart enough kind of guy to be like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm gonna quit. So the last thing he really wanted to do was do the Terry Funk spot with like the fucking have all the fans throw chairs in the ring. And it just so happened that that venue that we were at, not Harvey's, the Colony,
Of
was
BCW.
changing hands. So they were like, yeah, do whatever. I was like, we're doing the chairs. So me and Eric had like a 4 or 5 match angle where he got
Oh
to do
shit.
all of his cool heel stuff. Well, not his cool heel stuff, but his awesome heel stuff that he always wanted to do. Like he fucking handcuffed me to the top rope and hit Tubbs with his finisher like 6 times. We did a
Wait,
2 out of 3 falls match. We did a stretcher match, and
okay.
we
Yeah.
ended all that shit with me fucking smacking him with a chair, laying one over his face and one over his balls first, and then being like, "Throw your fucking chairs."
So, I mean, what was that like? What once after you said throw your chairs? What did you were you looking at the crowd, or
Yeah.
were
Well,
you
I got
just,
out there and I led by example and started throwing my shit and just started going fucking throw them. And eventually people fucking got up the balls to pick up their chairs and they're fucking hauling them into the ring.
man? That's fucking balls enough to say let's do that and let the
Yeah.
fans fucking throw chairs, man.
Yeah. Also, Eric Wright being like such a staunch traditionalist from like when I met him initially.
Yeah.
And also like being one of my main trainers. Like when we were doing that angle, I think probably at the second time we worked, he was like, yeah, you do that snap mirror and then you throw the back kick and you slap on it. And I'm like, Yeah, I just was like, no, 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 keep doing it. I'm like, oh, okay. I don't know where this Eric Wright was when I was a fucking rookie, but all right.
Yeah, let's just do this. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a dick measuring contest to snug anybody up if you don't have to. And like people
Yeah,
pop just as well on the slap as you would if you just fucking knock somebody's dick in the dirt with it. So like, why bother?
right. Well, I like that one dude. Fucking. You ever see that guy? I think he works for OVW. And he has like a whole thing like he slaps
Oh
fucking
yeah, Jack Vaughn, I think.
Jack Vaughn. Yeah.
Yeah, I love
Uh,
that guy.
just fucking slaps like just like okay, man. Like that's one of those things where something like that is over. Like I mean, uh, I think about that like with um, you know, Brian Danielson, Daniel Bryan, whatever, with yes and no,
Yeah,
or Stone Cold with what, like these simple fucking things like that just are so well crafted because it's not trying to do something
yeah, and
that
all that
that people
shit.
don't understand.
Yeah, all of it was an accident. What was
Right.
just some fucking thing that he did in a promo that caught fire? The yes and no thing was also just something that he did. Because I don't think
Yeah.
anybody would ever accuse Daniel Bryan of Brian Danielson. Like I was the
Right.
smarky kid who called him Brian Danielson for so long, and then
Yeah.
when he went to AEW, I call him Daniel Bryan now. It's disgusting.
Yeah. And it's like,
But
well, oh, yeah.
nobody would accuse the guy of being the most charismatic motherfucker in the world. But somehow he still got crazy over in the Fed off of a goofy gimmick.
Yep. Saying fucking one word, man.
Yep.
And I mean, yeah, and the fucking leg slap, dude. Fucking over, dude. That's all he has to do, dude.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, you can try a million different things that are complicated, but with wrestling, it's always just simple and slow down.
Yeah. Jack
And
Vaughn is like high on my list of dudes I'd like to work.
that'd be pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
Go
I
out
think
to
he's
fucking
he's a big guy though.
Louisville. Yeah. Like tall or like,
Yeah. Yeah, no,
yeah,
no, tall. He's like he's a lanky motherfucker, but he's probably like I'd say taller than you.
probably,
And
yeah.
you're about a head taller than me, so
Am
I'd
I?
be like, hey bud.
Yeah. I mean, that it would be a fun one.
All
I
gimmick,
bet,
which is my fucking favorite kind of match.
yeah, dude. I mean, why not? Why not? And it's good to be that one on a card, man. Like,
Yeah.
because then, yeah, you watch everyone else like do all this shit, and it's like, I'm doing a gimmick. That's it.
Yeah, man.
And
I my last two matches up in Washington, I've been wrestling Rysick.
oh fuck, dude, that's
Yeah, yeah.
easy,
And
dude. Like,
he had never wrestled me before we did this little thing up in Washington, and he was, he gets nervous because fucking kids. I get it. I totally get it. Like wrestling some fucking dumbass kid.
yeah,
Like, oh great, this kid's gonna try to fucking kill me. And after the first match, he was like, "Oh my god, can I just work you forever?" And I was like, "Night off for me, brother."
yeah, dude, yeah. I think I worked him one time, and yeah, it was fucking easy, dude. Like,
Yeah,
and
if you
it's
worked
you,
Rysick
you
once, you
know,
work him every time.
yeah, you know what his thing is. You know what he's
Yep.
gonna do. You know what he's trying to, get over. And okay, great.
And God, those matches are so easy and fun because like you just kind of get to do the paint by numbers. Like, oh, I'll put my thing here, he'll do his thing there. And
Yep.
when you both have things that you can just slot into places, you don't even have to fucking think about the match.
Yeah. So when you got trained, how did you learn? How were you as far as like going through, let's say, like even like a 5-minute match to start out with? Were you taught spots? Were you taught to like go with the crowd? Were you taught
Um,
um
so
a
I
little
was
bit of each?
trained by, well, initially by Blanchard, Jeremy Blanchard,
Oh, dude, I
Eric
got him
Wright,
coming on Saturday, man.
and Eric Baton.
Okay,
So like I was very much think, shoot, but work
cool.
kind of guy
Yeah,
coming up. Thankfully, because if I had to remember spots now, I'd be fucking lost.
right, right.
But
And
I just man, hard to remember really because I can't put myself in that same mentality of being a rookie who has no idea what the fuck he's doing. You know?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's a long fucking time ago, man.
Yeah, and
And
I trained for a year before I even got to have a match because I just
yeah.
everything was just a fucking process of throwing my head into a wall until either my head broke or the wall did.
And you know what? That's how some of us learn.
Yeah,
And that's how we have to do a lot of fucking things, man. That's with me, man.
yeah, and
I'll tell you that much, dude. Like, yeah, so many times, just like, okay, well, I gotta fuck up to like understand this. So,
yeah, and I was in a weird
yeah.
spot in WC too because I was kind of the door. Like when
What do you?
some new guy came in, they're like, "Oh, have him work Billy, see if he can work."
Oh,
I,
okay.
I think it was kind of backhanded, like, "Oh, if he can pull a good match out of Billy, he can fucking work anybody." When really it was like, I kind of, I'm half this match, so like, why am I
Yeah,
getting no credit for these guys having decent matches?
yeah. And I mean, dude. You've had so many fucking uh people come through there like into WCWC that would come in for and like get flown in, didn't know how to work.
Oh yeah, Jeff's
Um,
boys.
yeah, and yeah, I mean, yeah, it's like, I mean, they had to have known like these guys can't work, so like it has to be fucking uh Billy,
Yeah, I think
like
half of that was Baden because
yeah,
Baden always had a soft spot for me. So
yeah,
like, I think he understood that I had a skill set that I could have pretty much worked with anybody. And I think I'm probably one of the few people who's still like close with Baden after he stopped being involved in wrestling.
did he stop being involved in wrestling?
Oh yeah, when he got fucked out of his spot by Jeff.
What spot?
As a trainer and head booker WC, he got absolutely railroaded out of that spot.
uh was this like
2018, I want to say. It was before WCWC folded
okay?
because
um
Luther came around, and it's not Luther's fault at all.
right.
But Jeff saw a shiny new toy and somebody to throw under the bus. So Baden took all the heat for all the shit that Jeff was doing for years. After,
Whoa.
like, Baden made his choice. I feel like he wouldn't be insulted by me saying he definitely traded in his one of the boys card for an office card, and he took the heat for being an office guy and having to do all that fucking dirty work for Jeff because he thought it was job security and he could provide for his family. So no heat on him for that shit.
Right.
But Jeff does what Jeff did and just fucked him like he fucked everybody else.
Fucking went down swinging, dude.
Yep.
Shit. Yeah, dude. Baiting was always cool as fuck, man. Like, um, I think he did like a few things in DOA earlier, but it wasn't much. So I didn't really know him until like 2015 or whatever. But then like anytime I'd hang with him, it was always fucking. He was always a chill dude.
Yeah.
Um,
Fucking probably the only reason I made it through training was Baden
yeah.
because he kind of took me on as a special project. Like there was a lot of Sunday morning trainings that nobody else showed up for, so I was training Baden for 3 hours.
Cool.
And that's why I know a whole lot of shoot stuff that I never have to use.
Right. Probably.
I'll break
Yeah.
one out on somebody once in a while. And they're like, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I got that. It's there."
Yeah. Well, and it's good to know, like, to know those shoot moves and know what they feel like.
Yeah.
As far as selling, because like even watching people take punches, like a punch in the face, these people have never been punched in the face before in their
Oh,
life and
absolutely not.
don't know what it's like, don't know how, or like, it's one of those things too, like with getting hit in the nuts or something. Like that's one almost anyone can probably sell all right, but like
Yeah.
if you've never been punched in the fucking in the face, or like even have like a fucking wrist lock put on you, like a shoot wrist lock, and
Yeah.
like how you fucking react to that. Like you watch some people like that's not how you react at all, or like
Yeah. First thing I do when I'm teaching people how to chain for the first time is I lock that wrist lock in and I lean into that motherfucker.
uh-huh,
Like, so this is what it feels like. So
yeah,
anytime, just remember this. I'm never gonna put it on you this hard again, but just remember, you're not gonna go, you're going, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck. Don't break my fucking wrist.
yeah, right, yeah,
Uh,
it's
there's I really feel like most trainers, I mean, I haven't seen it firsthand, but I think a lot of less experienced trainers or guys who didn't come up like we did, who are
yeah,
now in the position to train people, just won't do that because they feel like it's abusive.
I think so too. And like to an extent, like sure, but like you still need to know, like same thing. Like I hope anyone who comes into wrestling has been punched in the face
Yeah.
before at some point. So
Yeah, I
not
mean
like
that's wrestling training also isn't the kind of place to get shoot punched in the face. That would be
right,
abusive, but I think putting on a snug hold and fucking wrenching somebody around and making them
yeah,
realize that what they're signing up for is,
right,
I think you should be hit hard in training. I think you should never be bullied harder or hit harder than you are when you're training.
right. I agree. And like it also goes back to the like if you shit your pants, you can't shit your pants more. Like if you get hit, like or have had it on as hard as it is, it's like it's not never gonna be that fucking. And if it
Yeah.
is, then you fucking know how to fucking
Yeah,
be like,
exactly.
hey, fucking, fuck off, man.
Yeah, my first
Um,
match ever, I got my fucking ear boxed like literally the first 10 seconds.
oh shit.
Just slap, went up too high. I can't hear out of this fucking ear now. So I'm already nervous as fuck and I'm deaf in one ear. So this is gonna be a fucking ride.
So what happened the rest of that match?
Oh, it was fine. I was wrestling. Well, he's Jack Hammer now,
Okay.
but he
Uh,
was a Shadow at the time, and it was. I think it was his first singles match too.
yeah.
But man was a natural. So like it wasn't great because it was both our first matches, but nobody got hurt. So
Right. Just a little ringing. Got to keep the heads ringing.
yep.
Um, and so let's see. What do you got coming up? What's coming up in the Rat King world?
Oh
When are
man,
you
I'm
gonna?
so bad with dates. Let me open Opera real quick. I know some of them, but I want to make sure I have them right. Uh, help me. Just go into my friends page because he's the one who shares all this shit. So
Okay.
I've got Anarcho Pro, the Camo Cup. It's a fundraiser show for this dog Camo at the Twilight Room in Portland, right on Grand Avenue. They reopened it, by the way, which is pretty cool.
For the show or in general?
It's been open for about a month now.
Cool. Okay.
But yeah, that'll be 8 o'clock on the 25th of January on Grand Avenue.
Okay. So a couple weeks, something
And
like that, maybe.
then I think exactly 1 month from now, I'm like going across social medias trying to like get all these dates like that I should have had prepared if I was a professional in any way.
Dude, I don't know, man. I got my phone. I'd have to look and be like, oh, here's
February 17th will be Metal Mania, the 1 year anniversary. But that's sold out, so you can't get a ticket. Sucks to be you.
shit. Yeah.
And then I have to go to my emails to get this date. I'm really
Ooh.
bouncing all over the motherfucker. Gotta check the contract. I love that. Where's the date? Where's the date? February 24th,
Okay.
2024. I will be wrestling at the Ocean Shores Convention Center in
Oh
Ocean
man.
Shores, Washington. for
Dude,
RWA.
I gotta get up there, man. I got a buddy up there in Ocean Shores, dude, and
It's a really fun show.
it looks like a fun show, man. That looks like a fucking pretty dope spot right there. And then
It's so weird because I feel like it's way too nice of a place for wrestling.
yeah, they have some ones like that.
Yeah, we fill that place up. It's insane.
Cool. Yeah, dude. And you get the coasties coming through and being giving them
Like
good time, man.
this last crowd we had, I think, was actually bigger than last year's Rumble in the Redwoods,
Oh shit.
which is
Is that a
always like,
pretty good draw?
the insane show for me. But yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like we topped them by like 100.
Cool.
Yeah.
And you're going back. It's more than once a year then too.
Yeah, every 2 or 3 months typically.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Who who's putting that on?
It's
Someone
Rogue
that
Wrestling
was
Attractions. Kenny Huffman is the promoter. I
was
can shoot you a link.
okay, was he like someone that lives up there?
Yeah,
Or
yeah, he's
okay.
a brand new promoter, and
Okay.
he's approaching it very much like a business, which is absurd to think about.
Yep.
But like when people said that Jeff was approaching wrestling like a business, and really it was like some weird sex thing, Kenny is actually approaching it like a business, and
Bang bang.
he's made a lot of rookie mistakes, and he takes those on the chin and keeps moving forward, which is admirable as fuck.
Cool.
Yeah, he's a great fucking guy, and I wouldn't champion him so hard if I didn't believe that, because you know how I feel about fucking promoters.
Right. Oh shit, man. So where are people gonna find you? In a back alley or online or wherever?
You can just Google the Rat King with 2 E's and you'll find all my shit. I'm pretty decent at branding, thankfully.
Yeah.
So Instagram, Facebook. Try not to find me on Twitter. It's a fucking cesspool.
Okay.
If you want to look at my Reddit posts, I have a Reddit. It has nothing to do with wrestling, but I shit post a lot there.
Good.
And
Is that the
also
Rat King?
Hellbound is I think we are Hellbound on Facebook, and we don't have any other social media. We just kind of plug our own shit on our social medias. I'm sure Draven covered pushing all that shit on his episode anyway. So
I think so. Yeah, I was gonna go grab the rest of Hellbound here soon.
yeah, I think both of them have like way easier times of mornings than I do, so it shouldn't be too big of a problem to get them.
Okay, yeah, I can't like I go to bed. Well, I used to fucking go to bed after Jeopardy, but now I get Jeopardy on um when it's like people in some Middle Eastern country record it and put it on YouTube so I can watch it like afternoon. But then it like cuts off or something weird or does something weird at the end. But yeah, I usually go to bed like at 7:30, 7:30 or something.
Yeah.
So like yeah, right after the buffet, man.
Hey man, I don't mind waking up and doing a show with an old friend. So
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. And yeah, that's why I reached out to you. I'm like, yeah, if I can get fucking Rat King up on this bitch. So thank you for being on, man. And yeah, dude, we'll get you back here in a few months if you're down or something like
cool.
that.
Yeah, as
All right,
long as I'm still
cool.
alive.
Yeah, man. I hope you are. I hope I am too,
Yeah,
and I hope
you never know.
everybody listening is still alive because don't want to lose listeners, man. And don't want
Yeah,
to.
you got to keep that engagement up.
Yeah, dude. Cool, man. Well, cool. We'll have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk soon. All right.
Yeah, see you later, Rusty. Thank
All
you.
right. Yeah, you bet, bud. All right. That's fucking the Rat King. So, dude, check him out. Hit him up. Hit him up. Tell him old Rusty Diamond sent you. And thank you, everyone, for being here and listening on the Rusty Diamond Podcast Network. And that is the show, man. Boom.
It's Rusty Diamond, motherfucker. It's Rusty Diamond, motherfucker.